We're going to talk about the three things that are important to be mindful of when we're trying to maximize recovery. This doesn't just apply to being an athlete. In my opinion, it applies to everybody. Everyone in the rehab process, all three of these elements really come into play to maximize our benefit and maximize our rehab potential. The first one is hydration. We want to make sure that we're aiming for at least 50% of our body weight in ounces per day. So for example, if you're a 200-pound person, we want to make sure that we're drinking at least 100 ounces of fluid. That shouldn't be just water. We want to make sure that we're mixing in some electrolytes in that drink. I don't count coffee in that because that's a bladder irritant. I also don't count tea in that equation. Again, it's a bladder irritant. So we're looking for water or an electrolyte supplement or drink to make sure that we're getting to our 50% body weight. The second one that I think is super important is we want to make sure that we're sleeping between 7 and 9 hours a night. Sleep in 2024 at the time of this video has been researched now in the past 5 to 8 years extensively, and it just keeps going and going and going. Sleep is so important. We need 7 to 9 hours of sleep. You can also dive deeper into that and enhance the quality of sleep that you're getting if you feel like you're already getting 7 to 9 hours. If it's not high quality sleep, that's another thing that we need to make sure of. But first, we need to make sure we're at least getting 7 to 9 hours. 8 is kind of a sweet spot, but 7 to 9 is something that we're looking for. The third one is we need to make sure that we're intaking enough nutrients. I talk all the time, we need to fuel our bodies with nutrients, and that nutrients is food. So we need to make sure, one, we calculate our metabolic rate. So just resting, how much food do we burn? And that can be done online. You just put in all your information, height, body weight, your age, your gender. From there, it calculates how much food you should be eating a day, just in calorie intake. Based on your activity level, if you have a high activity, you're an athlete, you need to look at the amount of calories you're expending in your activity, and then you need to calculate accordingly. So again, 3 tips are we need to have the proper water intake, fluid intake, and then we also need to make sure that we're sleeping enough, and then we need to make sure that we're eating enough. So those are the 3 tips on how to maximize recovery.